In the world of hockey, there are dreams.
This Maritime Memorial Cup dream is a reality. St. John are Memorial Cup champions in 2022.
And then there's the pursuit of glory.
Mission accomplished. The Quebec Ramparts are Memorial Cup champions.
For the Saginaw Spirit, the 2024 Memorial Cup is not just a dream. It's a mission, a journey that began long before the puck dropped. This is the story of Spirit Rising, a captivating 9-part documentary series that takes you behind the scenes with the Saginaw Spirit hockey team as they prepare to host the 2024 Memorial Cup. In this episode, we'll explore the crucial decisions made by the GM and head coach, the emotional journey from bid to victory, and the numerous enhancements at the Dow Event Center in preparation for the first Memorial Cup tournament ever hosted by a U.S.-based OHL team. In the heart of Michigan, the town of Saginaw is buzzing with excitement. The Saginaw Spirit are hosting the 2024 Memorial Cup, a dream come true for a passionate community. It all started with a vision. The idea of hosting the Memorial Cup had been brewing for years. Craig Goslin, the president and managing partner, saw it during his travels and conversations.
Well, I was at Halifax for the Memorial Cup, then I went to St. John's, and both were done so professionally. I thought, we can do this, and our community can do this.
I think earlier on in the fall, after a year kind of had started, talking to ownership, they kind of presented the idea to myself, if we thought maybe we should have an opportunity to bid on the Memorial Cup, what my thoughts were.
Over the last decade or so, there's been a couple of occasions where Craig Goslin and I have talked about the possibility of trying to do this, but the stars and all had to align.
I think it was late September, early October that we talked about it. So we were actually having a pretty good year, and we were, what do we anticipate coming up at the deadline? And then we had an ownership meeting, and we were told we were bidding on the Memorial Cup. So you can imagine the reevaluation process that took place. And obviously you've seen the moves over the course of the year that we made in hopes of getting the Memorial Cup.
So we had four bidding cities, and every bid was outstanding this year. We had Kingston, Niagara, and Sault Ste. Marie, along with Saginaw, and each of the groups did a fantastic job of sort of meeting the required specifications and really going above and beyond.
The bid process was a complex web of planning, negotiations, and community involvement.
Over time, you learn just how much goes into it, and the sheer amount of details and planning and people that have to go in it, and conversations that take a long time, but you get a lot of things hammered out in there. And it was like almost like a subplot for the whole season until it came down to when we actually put the bid in, and when we actually had the meetings with the CHL.
Specifically to Saginaw, I think they did a really good job of outlining how they were going to rally the community behind the bid and really have it be an event that wasn't just about the city of Saginaw, but really about the surrounding area. And if you know that area, and I've gotten to know that area now since they've been awarded, it really is a multi-city sort of effort down there with the cities around Saginaw. Frankenmuth is going to be a place where the players are going to stay. A few different areas down there that are really behind the bid, and that really came through in terms of the community aspect to the bid.
It was kind of crazy. It was like, wow, how special would it be to be playing in a Memorial Cup in your draft year? And it's something that doesn't really happen often, and it's definitely a best case scenario.
Once I kind of found out last year, I think I watched probably every Memorial Cup game in the past, and I watched the one this year, so definitely caught up on the knowledge, but it was definitely new to me being a U.S. kid.
2 weeks prior to the bid, we started getting the feeling that you know what, it's going to be tough to beat this bid that we've got out there with the quality of the team we have coming back. Those four components of the Memorial Cup, which is the quality of your hockey team, the quality of your business operations, the logistics, and the local atmosphere. We thought we nailed them all. And when we about 2 weeks prior, we said, you know what, if somebody's going to do better than we did in these four, they've earned it.
The news of Saginaw's bid spread like wildfire.
Well, it's a sporting event that brings together some of the best young hockey talent in the world. The Memorial Cup is a yearly junior hockey tournament in the CHL. Now today, the Saginaw Spirit threw their hat in the ring with a bid to host the 2024 Memorial Cup tournament.
Well, obviously the news came out earlier today. The Saginaw Spirit are bidding for the Memorial Cup in 2024. How cool would that be
for everyone here in the state of Michigan if they were able to land that.
I think now is the time. I think the OHL and the CHL has really grown over the last couple of decades to the point that I think the support will be there. I think the Spirit obviously done their homework, and from a business standpoint, they are probably very confident that they could make things work. Do they have the team, or are they starting to build the team that could be a real strong contender next season? I absolutely think they are, Zach, and that is a huge part to having a successful bid, is being able to show that you're going to put a hockey club on the ice that can be championship material.
It's often considered to be one of the hardest championships to win in hockey, but it's very clear that the Spirit are up to the challenge with this hosting bid that they made today.
With the bid submitted, the waiting game began. The Spirit's performance on the ice was crucial, but success came at a price. The team had to make tough decisions to reshape the roster for the upcoming season.
I thought we'd have the roster, and there was some tweaks that we could do to the roster at that time and leading into the deadline that maybe would put it favorable in our position to, win the bids.
The season saw some significant moves, including the acquisition in 2005 born forward Nick Sima, the 27th overall pick of the 2021 OHL priority selection.
Sima, familiar names in North Bay. They're now wearing red, white, and blue of the Saginaw Spirit.
The opportunity came up for myself to get a young player we liked in Nick Sima in 05 that we thought we could be part of our core here and part of the Memorial Cup bid and a lot of draft picks too.
With eyes on the roster and the bid, the Spirit made strategic acquisitions as GM Dave Drinkill targeted the 9th overall pick of the 2020 OHL priority selection.
And we were lucky enough to be able to flip those draft picks for Hunter Haight out of Barrie, who we knew would be a huge part of the bid.
Colts coach GM Marty Williamson making the big trade with the Saginaw Spirit, of course, hoping to host the Memorial Cup next year, and they get a player in Haight who's going to be a key part of that team.
In a roundabout way, it was a three-way trade. It just took a little bit for the second part to come through, and to be able to bring Hunter into the organization was a huge boost for our guys and a boost for the organization.
As the Spirit strengthened their draft board, attention around the league turned to Anaheim Ducks first-round pick Pavel Mintyukov.
Big defenseman comes to the 67s from the Saginaw Spirit for a slew of draft picks. You can see 3 second-round draft picks, 4 third-round draft picks, and a couple of fourth-round draft picks, 9 of them in all, going the other way to Saginaw as they build their program.
You need a lot of draft picks to be able to acquire veteran talent, plug holes in lineups throughout the Memorial Cup or build-up year, and we were able to get a good haul of draft picks and put him in a good spot for a chance to win, and then allows our younger guys to play a lot down the stretch.
These trades were part of the strategy to build the strong roster for the Memorial Cup bid.
I was on the prize of winning the Memorial Cup bid, and when we won the bid and were selected to be the host committee, everything kind of came full circle, and it made it all worthwhile, but very tough at the time.
The road to the Memorial Cup bid was full of twists and turns. Coming up, we'll explore the moment of truth and how Saginaw learned they would host the 2024 Memorial Cup.
My OHL is where every player feels safe and respected. Well, I truly believe that the OHL has been on the forefront of empowering our players to have a voice. The off-ice development, I think, is as important, if not more important, to the player's success. They're part of the community. There's a responsibility to treat people with respect. All teams, I think, have felt a great sense of responsibility in that regard to make sure the message has been clear.
I got a call from Dan McKenzie, and I was in my office by myself, and I would say elation is the word. If there's something beyond elation, I was there, but it was a phone call from President Dan McKenzie to myself.
Chris had called me and said, "Hey, I got a call from ownership. They're on our way to my house right now."
We actually went to visit Chris Lazary at his house. Dave was on the road.
I was sitting at my table and watching stuff on Flint. We were in the preparation for playoffs, and then I heard at the door.
And then we kind of figured it was either going to be one way or the other. It was going to be great news, or they were going to tell us that we didn't get it. So I waited around. I just paced around the parking lot waiting for them to call, and they called me and put me on speaker.
I mean, not many people knock on my door here, so I turned around and there was Dick and Goose standing there with a little drink and a glass.
Yeah, we walked to the front door of Chris Lazary's house, and Dick had that bottle in his hand. And Laz actually, you can see he was excited, even a bit of a tear in his eye, which was really neat.
and they were at Chris's house and let us know that we'd been selected to host.
You know what? It's emotional. The one thing I love about those guys is they know, how much, just like a kid growing up in Ontario and all these guys and drinks, like just the dream of the opportunity to play in the Memorial Cup.
Honestly, it was a surreal moment, something you've dreamed of your whole life. Followed the whole OHL and CHL my whole life, so I didn't have a lot of words. It was almost quiet on the phone. I didn't really know what to say because I was just so excited, so proud of this organization and happy for the ownership and the community and how far we've come since I got the job here in 2015. And now we get to show the hockey world and the community everything that I believe this city and this organization has to offer. And it was almost like a huge relief and a big sense of pride and excitement that we were at that point.
We gambled in a sense going all in and making the decisions we made with players not knowing that this was going to be the result. So for it to actually happen, pretty wild.
We were, just elated when, we got the news. And then, followed shortly up by like, oh my gosh, there's going to be an awful lot of work. Be careful what you ask for.
I will never forget those handful of days. I remember sitting there talking and we're like, you know what, this is going to happen right when the playoffs start. Like that's just the way things are going to go.
As the playoffs began, the Saginaw Spirit opened against the in-state rival Flint Firebirds. Little did they know, amid the tense on-ice battles, a different kind of victory was brewing behind the scenes. The news of winning the bid for the 2024 Memorial Cup was about to electrify the entire organization.
We spoke with the Spirit earlier today as they get set to take on their rivals in the opening round of the OHL playoffs for the first time in team history.
It should be a really well-fought series. We're both physical teams, so it should be going.
I mean, playoffs are a different animal, and you got to move on, focused on what you need to do in these coming games.
You had a feeling that day. It's like something's going on. Craig brings us into the conference room, and then he delivered the news that we got the Memorial Cup. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh boy. It was great. And then it was real quick. We get in the car, we go over, drive to the Dow to deliver the news to the players.
The moment of truth arrived when team owners Craig Goslin and Dick Garber gathered the players and staff.
We were all in the video room, and Goose and Dick, our owners, came in. All the staff was there as well.
Their words carried the weight of dreams realized as he delivered the long-awaited news of Saginaw winning the bid to host the 2024 Memorial Cup.
It was crazy. We all kind of walked in the room. We kind of felt like something was going to happen.
Let you guys know that last night at about 2:30 yesterday afternoon, I got a phone call that in 2024, you guys are going to host the Memorial Cup in Saginaw.
Everyone was, excited about it, and it's definitely something that doesn't come around often, and it's pretty special to be a part of. And it's just exciting with this group.
I felt so excited, but it was still during the season, so I was concentrated for the playoff, but it was an exciting moment for sure.
So even though we're getting invited to the dance, our full intention next year is to earn our way in, and that starts Thursday night against Flint.
Wow, this is happening, and next year it's going to be super big.
So we thought it was really important that you guys got to know first. The league is not sending out yet. It's going out in about 20 minutes.
Saginaw had done it. Against formidable competition, they emerged victorious in securing the honor of hosting the 2024 Memorial Cup. It was a moment of triumph that would forever be etched in the franchise's history.
The greatest prize in the Canadian Hockey League is coming to Saginaw. The Dow Event Center will play host to the 2024 Memorial Cup.
For only the fourth time, a major hockey championship is coming to the States, and it will be right here in mid-Michigan.
The day of the official announcement arrived, and Saginaw was ready to share their excitement with the rest of the world. The press conference was a spectacle as the city came together to celebrate the remarkable achievement.
Yeah, you know what? It was my first time in Saginaw. It was my first time in the city and in the building. The excitement was really palpable in that room. And they were all there because of the journey that Saginaw's been on over the last 20 plus years. You could tell there was a lot of proud people in that room who thought, good for these guys for bringing this major event to our city.
And we are live here at the Dow Event Center in Saginaw ahead of Game 1 of the playoff series, the first ever playoff series between the Flint Firebirds and the Saginaw Spirit. It's been a big day here for the Saginaw Spirit as the arrival of the Memorial Cup and, of course, the official announcement that the 2024 Memorial Cup tournament will be played right here.
I'm honored to be here today
at the Dow Event Center with you and our viewers on CHL TV for this special occasion to officially announce Saginaw, Michigan as the host of the 2024 Memorial Cup. I'm proud to be standing here alongside CHL President Dan McKenzie, the President and Managing Partner of the Saginaw Spirit, Trey Goslin.
Well, Saginaw, we did it. We did it. We did it. And now the heavy lifting starts.
And we're grateful to this great community of the Great Lakes Bay region. Thank you.
I'm telling you, it's pretty obvious that the Saginaw community is really excited to have the Memorial Cup.
The CHL Site Selection Committee has awarded the Saginaw Spirit in the Great Lakes Bay region the honor to host the 2024 Memorial Cup.
And I think for that area of the country to know they're going to be getting this world-class event, and they know their team's going to have a chance to win, the national championship of the CHL, it's pretty special.
Up next, we follow Craig Goslin and Dave Drinkill on their journey to Kamloops for the 2023 Memorial Cup, a scouting mission that would prove pivotal in shaping the future of the Saginaw Spirit.
My OHL gives back to communities that support it. There's been such a great connection between our local communities and Special Olympians. With all the member teams have some association with Special Olympics, so the member nights just seem to be a great fit. When you're standing beside someone in the community that looks up to and respects, that helps our athletes gain that respect and gain that focus and attachment to the community as well.
Welcome to Kamloops, where it is 3:51 p.m. local time.
Craig Goslin and Dave Drinkill embarked on a crucial expedition to Kamloops, British Columbia for the 2023 Memorial Cup. Their mission? To witness the event firsthand, gaining valuable insights in preparation for Saginaw's Memorial Cup journey.
It does feel very real when you get onto the grounds here in Kamloops, and they've done a great job here presenting the Memorial Cup, and we are over the moon excited to be able to present something similar in Saginaw. I've done a great job in St. John, in Halifax the year before, and this year in Kamloops. So we've got 3 outstanding examples and a lot of notes, a lot of video, a lot of pictures to ensure that we do an exemplary job in Saginaw as well.
You land in Kamloops and you drive up to the rink and you see the fan zone and the people outside the rink coming up and talking to you about next year's Memorial Cup and coming to Saginaw. And that was all really exciting, but then walking into the rink yesterday when we got here and touring around, and I got down to the media room where the stage is set up, where all the press conferences are held, and it kind of hit me at that moment that our head coach, Chris Lazary, and one of our players will be up there after each game, and you kind of felt with that overwhelming pride of it'll be us next year.
When I walk around Kamloops, I am just smile from ear to ear to see the excitement that's here, the job that they're doing, and knowing that we can duplicate this in Saginaw. To see the smiles on the faces of the fans here with their fan fest and with their concert series and their speaker series, all those things that we plan on doing in Saginaw as well. With all of our alumni, we're going to incorporate them into the fabric of the Memorial Cup in Saginaw. Same thing they're doing here. So yeah, it's exciting. Everywhere I walk around here right now, I look and I take notes, take videos, and say, you know what, we can do that, and we may be able to do it a bit better.
President of the 2024 Memorial Cup host team, the Saginaw Spirit, Craig Goslin.
And there'll be a lot of work, working with the business staff, and I know I'm the hockey side of things, but I'm always here for them, bouncing ideas off what we can improve, what the hockey side can do to help the business staff prepare for a very busy, stressful, fun year at the end of the day. So we're not going in to host it, we're going in to win it. Are we going to host it and put on a good show for everybody? Yeah, we are, but from the hockey standpoint, we're going to win it. It's a huge opportunity for our community and our team, and you wake up every day, kind of pinch yourself that we're in the situation next year, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Behind the scenes, back in Saginaw, the Dow Event Center was undergoing a transformation. Renovations were in full swing. Ensuring that the arena would be a fitting stage for the 2024 Memorial Cup. The Spirit organization was leaving no stone unturned in their pursuit of excellence.
Yeah, we've got a $10 million renovation going on in our building right now with all new suite areas. The visitors' dressing rooms are all getting completely redone. They're going to all be NHL caliber style dressing rooms. And we're bringing a modular dressing room in as well. So each team will have their own area, and the suites are all getting redone with bathrooms put in. The lighting, we're putting an LED ribbon in to the facility. So the Dow Event Center is getting a complete redo and makeover for the 2024 Memorial Cup. We invite the fans to come to Saginaw, come to Frankenmuth, where we're going to house the teams, and enjoy what is a really special community within the OHL community itself.
In spring of 2023, we started talking with the Spirit and then Saginaw County, who owns this facility. They were planning on doing some upgrades to the facility, regardless of if they were awarded the Memorial Cup. And then we created a list of upgrades to the facility that we were going to do no matter what, and then things we would do if we landed the cup. And thankfully we were very successful in bringing the cup to Saginaw, so that more than doubled the amount of renovations to the space. As soon as the Spirit season was ended in June, we got to work right away in here and have been here ever since.
So we had to set standards that we were given by the Memorial Cup and their selection committee. Working with the owner and the design team, Kibbe, we've been able to come up with this plan and now put it into action, gave them a schedule, and as of right now, we're on schedule to meet that.
Here, we've got brand new ceiling, brand new lights, we've got brand new suites, things that actually are tangible that people can look around and go, oh, you've made some changes here.
To be able to walk in here and see, I've touched every single part of this building, or at least I've been with the people who have, is just an awesome feeling.
While the thrilling renovations were breathing new life into the arena, behind the scenes, the Spirit franchise had never been busier. Even with players off the ice, the relentless preparations were in full swing, ensuring that every detail was attended to for the upcoming 2024 Memorial Cup.
My OHL is a place where everyone feels welcome. So OHL diversity inclusion efforts are for each and everybody, whether it be a player, official, whether it be anyone within the staff, for each club or at the OHL offices, and certainly for every person that enters into one of our arenas and participates as a fan in one of our games.
The excitement in Saginaw continues to build as the 2024 Memorial Cup draws nearer. The entire community is buzzing with anticipation, and the Spirit organization is hard at work, making sure this tournament will be one for the ages.
But the passion and the excitement, I've been down to Saginaw a couple times since we've made the announcement, and you can just tell when you're down there how excited people are for the Memorial Cup. It's going to be a great time in Saginaw. I can't wait to have it get started.
The excitement of the entire Great Lakes Bay region. There's 400,000 people in our region, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. That's the region that we market to. About 27% of our revenue base comes out of Midland County, about 18% out of Bay County. Those communities are about 15 to 20 minutes away from the Dow Event Center. So then when you look at that component of the 400,000 people, they are supportive beyond the word. They've been so, with corporate support, now we're starting, the ticketing now is just beginning. We know we're going to sell out every game. And yeah, the excitement in our community to host the Memorial Cup is beyond anything that I've ever seen I've been here my whole life. I've never seen the community this excited about a sporting event as they are about the Memorial Cup.
Next time on Spirit Rising, the anticipation reaches its peak as players report for training camp. The atmosphere is charged with excitement. It's a time of renewal where seasoned veterans and fresh faces come together to put down roots with the goal of growing a championship culture in Saginaw.
Okay, to get middle ice, but also love this clip, watch the dot wide. Doesn't just stay there, fan out till you need to be, get your routes.
But training camp is only the beginning. In this episode, we delve into the high-stakes world of early season trades. As the franchise gears up for a season unlike any other, we take you behind the scenes to uncover the meticulous preparations, tireless efforts, and unwavering dedication that propel this team forward.
We're looking for competitors and commanders. So make that decision. Be ready to go tomorrow. It is a massive day for this group and for everybody in this room. See you then.
From the coaching staff to the front office, from the locker room to the boardroom, everyone is pulling in the same direction, toward Memorial Cup glory.